Okay, guys, so now this is really something, a new blog post by Choices, and I don't know, I have mixed feelings about this. So, basically, what they say about this in this blog post, let's take a look at this. So, they greet us for the new year, and they say that you better hold on tight, Spider Monkey, because they're, remember there was a BOOK2 teaser, a blood drop or something. So a lot of people said it's gonna be Mortal Desire because, of course, the blood, resemblance and stuff. But a lot of people realistically thought it's gonna be Crimes of Passion Book Two. So did I. I thought it was Crimes of Passion Book 2. But surprise, surprise, they say after reading how much our community enjoyed the world of this brooding vampiric fantasy and reviewing the full release numbers, Pixelberry has decided to put Immortal Desires 2 into motion. The gang will be back in town. Now, um, personally, what could be the plot for the Immortal Desire 2? I don't know. So it's gonna be a hard job for them to think about it because the way it ended. If I want to give my personal and very personal opinion about this, I would say for Immortal Desire, there wasn't any need for book two, as I've said before. What was needed was a good finale. What was needed was a good villain time to the Supreme One. The Supreme One didn't have any time. So it was pretty rushed. The villain time was not that much. You know, the whole story was the banter and sort of back and forth, smut or not smut, but who's gonna drink blood from who, Cass and Gabe. So it's just MC sandwiched between MC Gabe and Cass. That was the whole thing in the book. So I don't know what it could be, but a very personal opinion for me is that if they are doing this, giving a book sequel that already ended because fans loved it, I think it would have been awesome if they did that with Wake the Dead. Because last year on this time, it was at its prime. Wake the Dead, until April for non-VIPs it went on. A little before for VIPs, and what a book it was. You have all the choices and the way it ended, the bonus scene if you take it. Now remember folks, Immortal Desire bonus scene doesn't give too much, it doesn't leave too much to imagination as to what could happen. Like it's a totally completely open world. But Wake the Dead, the bonus scene, that could be a little bit more. And like that's a sort of like a prequel. They could have gone to a prequel from here. There was so much opportunity personally for me, I guess. So I don't know. There was a lot of people liked it. I think Immortal Desire comparing to Wake the Dead is easier writing because so much choices you have in Wake the Dead, and it's proper plot based book where Immortal Desire is it's plot based but not that plot based. So I think it's just way easier and a bit more money heavy. So that's why choices went that way. Excuse me. So now let's say the biggest thing. To say we're excited is an understatement. We had to pull a few strings to get the sequel to happen. So here to explain, Immortal Desire 2 was originally not going to happen due to all sequels being launched into wide release, which resulted in an imbalance of resources for a new book production. So in order to maintain a balance of new books and sequels starting in 2024, all sequels will be launching into VIP early access first, and then will follow our current wide release schedule. This will include Immortal Desire 2. We wanted to assure the community that following this release schedule will allow us to push forward more book sequels in the future. So basically what they're saying that they're not giving books enough sequel like Immortal Desire, Wake the Dead, or other books that we like. It's because money. Well, I don't know really how it works, but to my best knowledge, they are a multi-million dollar company. That they make a lot of money. They're owned by Nixon. So, excuse me, I really don't know what's going on with there, but it's kind of impossible to give all the book sequels. I understand that, but at least give the books a perfect book one. They're not addressing that. They're not addressing how even Immortal Desire Book 1 was incomplete book. So the sequel, it's not the matter, but making the books complete, that's what also matters. So I think they should have addressed that. But Nada. Now, the 2024, so 1 year from now, a little over 1 year, I should say, you'll have even sequels VIP, so that's something. But the next thing they say is it literally has me in my feelings, and I'm livid. Let's read it. Excuse me. As we prepare for 2023, we want to address the concerns revolving around gender-locked books. Books in the beginning of next year will contain more female-only main characters. The Choices team is aware of and understands this is a big concern and is working to make sure that there will be more gender of choice books in the back half of 2023 and 2024. Book production begins at least a year before the story is. You know what? I'm done with Choices. Really. Like, they said the same thing back in 2020 when, you remember that before the environmental book got released, about the nature saving book, Rising Tides. They said the exact same thing. They said that we understand that there are more people now, like the gender of choice books are necessary. Male players, they said, non-binary players, they said the exact same crap back then. They said that, book production begins along before the books are released, so we can't do anything for Distant Shores, we can do anything for the neo releases coming next, but we will have more gender of choice books in the future. And where we are now, 2023, so 3 years after that statement, and they're still saying that book production begins 1 year ago. I mean, what the hell is that? How are we supposed to trust Choices? They're going to say the same thing after 2 years after bringing few more gender of choice books and then all gender locked books. It makes money, but let's trust the community. We'll bring a little bit more, variety in gender. But yeah, it's after 1 year because it takes 1 year. So we were just sleeping and we just got awakened by all the comments and maybe we lost some pockets, heavy pockets from some male players perhaps, and now we're waking up, the numbers are dwindling. This is bullshit. I don't swear a lot, but really, I was hoping to play gender of choice books for roommate book. Excuse me, for first comes love book. And don't tell me it's gonna be like My to First Love, so we're gonna have a female main character with a knot in their love, loving 4 people all together, and we're gonna have to go through that again. I just don't know. And they also address the face issue. Well, the same thing, the resources and funding, it all comes around that. You understand with the faces, but